If you're over 50, this episode will change your life forever. Now imagine this. Your alarm goes off. You open your eyes. But when you try to move, your body feels locked. Your neck is tight. Your lower back aches. Your fingers feel swollen and stiff. You lie there for a few minutes, almost afraid to move because you know standing up is going to hurt. Does this sound familiar? Here's what most people are never told about morning stiffness after 50. A landmark study published in 2018 by researchers at Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed over 200 adults aged 50 to 75 for 2 years and found that seniors who performed a specific sequence of gentle stretches immediately upon waking experienced a 68% reduction in reported morning pain and stiffness compared to those who got out of bed without preparation. The key was not the intensity of the stretches, but the timing and the order in which they were performed. And there is more. Japan's oldest practicing doctor spent decades observing patients who moved through their mornings with ease versus those who struggled. He noticed one consistent pattern. The seniors who felt best didn't stretch after getting out of bed. They stretched before their feet even touched the floor. And in today's conversation, he is going to walk you through that exact routine. Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast. Doctor, this is a topic I know resonates with so many people. It does, John. This episode matters because morning stiffness is one of the most common complaints I hear from older adults. Yet, it is also one of the easiest to address. There is no equipment needed, no difficult positions, and nothing that requires you to leave your bed. Just a simple, gentle sequence that takes about 1 minute and changes how the entire day feels that really lands. Because for so many seniors, I see how the morning begins determines how confident they feel moving for the rest of the day. So if you are listening right now, stay with us through the end. Exactly. Most people rush out of bed the moment they wake up, and their body is not ready for that sudden shift. The joints are stiff, the muscles are cold, and the nervous system is still waking up. By taking just 60 seconds to prepare the body, you prevent injury, reduce pain, and restore fluid movement before you ever stand. But before we start, please share with us in the comments what topic you would like to be discussed next, and maybe you will find your request in the next episode. Please do. We consider every comment. Now, doctor, tell us what can we expect from this routine. In a few minutes, we will walk through the same stretch sequence I give my own patients. We will begin with the neck and shoulders, move through the wrists and hands, then address the hips and lower back and finish with the ankles and a full body stretch. Each movement takes only seconds, but together they wake up every major joint and muscle group in a way that feels gentle and safe. I cannot wait to dive into the first stretch. But first, I have one very important question I am confident everyone needs to hear. Tell us, why does the body feel so stiff in the morning after 50? What is actually happening during sleep that makes movement feel so difficult when we first wake up? Starts with understanding what happens to the body during those hours of stillness. John, when we sleep, we stay in relatively fixed positions for long periods. Blood flow to the extremities slows slightly. Joint fluid, which lubricates movement, becomes less active. Muscles that were tense during the day remain contracted, and the fascia, the connective tissue that wraps around muscles, can become tight and adhered overnight. That makes a lot of sense. So it is not just aging, it is biology responding to stillness. Exactly. And after 50, the body takes a little longer to restore that fluid movement. Cartilage becomes slightly less elastic. Inflammation from the previous day can settle into joints overnight. The nervous system is slower to send wake-up signals to the muscles. All of snorts, this creates that locked feeling so many seniors experience. I hear that all the time. Patients tell me they feel like they age 10 years overnight, but once they move around for 20 or 30 minutes, they start to feel normal again. Yes, and that is proof the stiffness is temporary, not permanent. The body just needs help transitioning from rest to activity. That is what this routine does. It gently restores circulation, lubricates, clears throat, the joints, and signals the nervous system that it is time to move. And the most important part is doing it before standing while the body is still supported by the bed. So it is about meeting the body where it is not forcing it to catch up. Exactly. When you give the body this gentle preparation, movement becomes easier, pain decreases, and confidence returns. And once seniors experience how different their mornings feel, this routine becomes something they look forward to, not something they have to remember to do. That shift from effort to habit is so powerful. And now that we understand why this matters, where do we begin? What is the very first movement you guide people through when they first wake up? We always begin with the head and neck, John. This is intentional. The neck holds a tremendous amount of tension, especially for people who sleep on their side or use pillows that are too high or too flat. And because the neck connects to the shoulders and upper back, releasing it first creates a ripple effect through the rest of the body. That makes sense. And it is also one of those areas people do not realize is tight until they try to move it. Exactly. So, here is what I want people to do. While still lying in bed on your back or your side, whichever feels more comfortable, slowly turn your head to look toward the right. Do not force it. Just let the head gently rotate as far as it wants to go. Pause there for about 3 seconds and breathe. Then slowly return to center. Now turn to the left. Pause, breathe, and return to center again. So we are not pushing for range. We are just inviting movement. Correct. The goal is not how far the head turns. The goal is waking up the muscles and joints in the neck without triggering guarding or pain. Many seniors will notice one side feels tighter than the other. That is normal. Just observe it. Do this rotation 2 or 3 times in each direction, taking about 15 to 20 seconds total. And what does that do for the body beyond just loosening the neck? It increases blood flow to the brain, releases tension in the upper trapezius muscles, and gently mobilizes the cervical spine. It also signals the vestibular system, which controls balance that the body is waking up. All of this prepares the upper body for more movement and helps prevent that groggy, disconnected feeling many people have when they first stand. I love how something so simple can have such a broad effect. And once the neck has been addressed, where do we go next? Now, we move to the shoulders and arms. This is where many older adults carry chronic tension, especially if they sleep with their arms curled up or if they have arthritis in the shoulder joints. We are going to do 2 movements here, shoulder rolls and gentle arm circles, and they take less than 30 seconds combined. All right, walk us through the shoulder rolls first. While still lying down or sitting up slightly in bed, bring your shoulders up toward your ears, then roll them back and down in a smooth circle. Do this slowly with control. Repeat the roll 4 or 5 times going backward. Then reverse the direction and roll the shoulders forward 4 or 5 times. Keep breathing naturally throughout. This loosens the shoulder joints, releases tightness in the upper back, and restores mobility to the scapula. And I guess that prepares the arms for the next movement. Exactly. Now we extend both arms out to the top. Even if they do not go far, we make ourselves as long as possible and stretch our whole length. If the shoulders feel too stiff to extend the arms fully. You can bend the elbows. So we are keeping it adaptable for different levels of mobility. Yes. Some seniors will have full range, others will not. Both are fine. The goal is to wake up the shoulder girdle and increase synovial fluid in the joints. This prevents that frozen feeling later in the day and makes reaching, lifting, and dressing much easier. That is such a practical benefit. And I imagine the hands and wrists come next, since they are often the stiffest part for people with arthritis. You are exactly right, John. The hands and wrists are critical, and they are often completely ignored in the traditional wake-up routines. Yet these joints are used constantly throughout the day, and when they start stiff, everything from holding a coffee cup to buttoning a shirt becomes painful. So what do we do to address that? From our last position, we extend your arms in front of you at chest level. Open and close your hands slowly, spreading the fingers wide, then making a gentle fist. Do this 5 to 10 times. It does not need to be forceful. Just wake up the small muscles and tendons in the hands, and that alone can make such a difference for people with morning hand stiffness. It really does. Then we add wrist circles. With the arms still extended, rotate the wrists slowly in one direction for about 5 circles. Then reverse and go the other way. This mobilizes the wrist joints and reduces that locked feeling many seniors experience. It feels amazing. It does. And finally, gently flex the wrist by pointing the fingers toward the ceiling. Hold for 2 seconds. Then point them toward the floor and hold again. Repeat this 3 times. So, in less than 20 seconds, we have addressed the entire upper extremity. Exactly. And now the hands are ready to grip, the wrists are ready to move, and the shoulders are ready to support. That sets the stage for the lower body, which is where we go next. And I imagine the hips and lower back are where a lot of people feel the most limitation in the morning. Right? Yes. The hips and lower back are the foundation of all movement. When they are stiff, everything else compensates. So we need to gently restore mobility there before standing. The first movement is very simple. Bring one knee toward your chest. Hold it gently with both hands and breathe. You are not pulling hard. You are just allowing the hip to flex and the lower back to release. Hold for about 5 to 10 seconds. Then switch legs. And that stretch alone can change how standing feels. It does. It decompresses the lumbar spine, opens the hip joint, and releases tension in the glutes and hamstrings. Many seniors tell me this is the moment they, snorts, feel their back let go. We do this for both legs just 2 times for a few seconds, and then you can bring both knees to the chest together and hold for another 5 to 10 seconds, if that feels comfortable. So we are building progressively, never forcing. Exactly. Then we add a gentle spinal twist. With both knees bent and feet flat on the bed, slowly let the knees fall to one side while keeping the shoulders flat. Hold for about 5 seconds. Then bring the knees back to center and let them fall to the other side. This mobilizes the thoracic and lumbar spine, releases the obliques, and improves rotational flexibility. That is such an underrated movement for spinal health. It is, and it feels wonderful. Most people do not realize how much tension they hold in the lower back until they feel it release. This twist is gentle enough to do every single morning without strain, and over time, it helps maintain spinal mobility and prevents that rigid, locked feeling. I imagine this also helps with daily movements like reaching for things or turning to look behind you. Absolutely, John. Rotational mobility is one of the first things we lose as we age, yet it, snorts, is essential for so many daily activities. Getting in and out of a car, looking over your shoulder while driving, reaching into a cabinet, even putting on a coat. All of these require spinal rotation. When that movement becomes restricted, the body compensates in ways that create stress on the shoulders, hips, and knees. So by doing this gentle twist every morning, we are actually protecting other joints as well. Exactly. And there is another benefit many people do not expect. This movement helps stimulate the digestive system. The gentle compression and release on the abdominal organs can help with regularity, which is something many seniors struggle with. It also encourages deeper breathing because it opens up the rib cage on each side. That is remarkable. One simple movement addressing the spine, the organs, and the breath. Yes. And I always tell my patients, if one side feels much tighter than the other, that is valuable information. You can spend an extra 5 seconds on that side, or even do an additional repetition. The body will tell you what it needs. Some mornings the twist will feel easy and fluid. Other mornings it may feel restricted. Both are normal. The key is showing up consistently and listening. And once the spine and hips have been addressed, we finish with the lower part of our body. Yes, the ankles and feet are the final piece. While lying flat, point and flex the feet slowly. Point the toes away from the body. Hold for 2 seconds, then flex the toes back toward the shins and hold again. Do this 5 times. Then finish with ankle circles. Rotate the ankles slowly in one direction for 5 circles. Then reverse. This restores blood flow to the lower legs, wakes up the calf muscles, and prepares the feet for weight bearing. I guess the body is ready to stand now. Exactly. But we finish with one last movement, a full body stretch. Extend the arms overhead and reach long while pointing the toes down and lengthening the entire body from fingertips to toes. Hold this stretch for about 5 seconds. Take a deep breath and release. This integrates everything we just did and gives the body one final signal that it is time to move. That is beautiful. It is so complete yet so simple. And that is the point, John. Snorts. This entire sequence takes about 1 minute, requires no equipment, and can be done while still in bed. But the impact lasts all day. Seniors who do this every morning report less pain, more confidence, and greater ease in their movements from the moment they stand up. That really stays with me. It is not about fixing everything. It is about preparing the body to move well. Yes, and preparation is everything. When the body is ready, movement feels safe. When movement feels safe, people stay active. And when people stay active, they age with strength and independence. That really grounds this whole conversation for me. Now, if you are still listening, let us know where you are watching from. Like the episode and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and watch this next video right now. Yes, please, we've picked this one especially for you.